Friends, hi. We are going to get this thing started. I'm super excited. Just adjust myself here. Great. Awesome. Let me hit record. We are good to go. Let's do this. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vibe with Kai live webinar, How to Make the Most of 2020. My name is Kairos Keenan Westcott, and today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about 2020. It's been quite the year, to say the least, and a lot of people are feeling down. A lot of people are feeling lost. A lot of people are feeling scared, feeling upset, not exactly sure what's going to come next. And today I'm going to walk you through some tips to help you defeat those feelings and make the most out of 2020. I don't know about you, but I refuse to make 2020 the worst year ever, right? That's just me as an individual. I feel that you should feel that way too. So I'm going to share my screen here again. There we go, share screen. Booyah. All right, friends. Before we get started today, if you enjoy what you're watching today, please be sure to follow me on my social media channels. I'm always posting blogs and videos and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. So if you're looking for these daily reminders of why we do what we do and why we should be excited and why we should live a life full of positivity, then follow me on these social media platforms. I post pretty much every day on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm always posting quotes and videos and just things that'll help you feel a little bit better about your day and hopefully your life moving forward. My overall goal is I want to make you smile, right? So if I can make you smile, then that's a win for me, honestly. You can also visit my website at thevibewithkai.com, where we're always posting stuff. I have guest bloggers that come on as well, including my friend and colleague Jenny Barkovich, who is a brilliant young writer fresh out of Rider University, go Bronx. And I have guest writers. I do interviews all of the time with my friends and my colleagues. So please be sure to follow me there on thevibewithkai.com. And then last but not least, you can get your Vibe with Kai merchandise. We just rolled out a bunch of brand new things, a bunch of brand new designs that you could check out. Go to thevibewithkai.com and you can get your Vibe with Kai merchandise. Brand new shirts, brand new material that we just launched out. We're out of hats still, and you guys know that I love my hats. We're all out of hats. I'm not sure when we're going to get hats in. I know with COVID-19, things have kind of been weird in that regard. So I'm not sure when we're going to get hats in again, but go online. We just rolled out a bunch of new stuff. Go to thevibewithkai.com and get your Vibe with Kai merchandise before it all runs out again. So make sure you go do that. Also, after today's webinar, we're going to do a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns as I go through everything today, be sure to write them down and I'll be sure to answer them. I'll also be monitoring things on the Facebook side of things to make sure that you guys can see exactly, or so you can ask any questions as I go along. I have no problem answering those questions. I think what I'm going to actually do right now as well is go live on Instagram. So if you, the Instagram feed won't have the PowerPoint. However, I think that I love going live on Instagram. Instagram is a lot of fun. So I'm going to go live on Instagram right now. Let's see how to make the most of 2020. Add title. Boom. All right. So we're going to go live on Instagram as well. So if you want to follow along on Instagram, you are more than welcome to. And we are live. Okay. Here we go, friends. So let's talk a little bit about 2020. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna come back to me for a second here. So let's be honest. 2020 hasn't been our favorite year. right? From COVID-19 to murder hornets, among many other very important issues, this year is definitely one that we'd like to forget. With that being said, however, this year, 2020, can still serve as an important year for you. So today we're going to walk through 5 tips of making the most out of 2020. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, whatever you want to do, grab that, and then write these down as I go through it, because we're gonna break this down a little bit. All right. So let's talk about this first tip right here. First and foremost, let's take a look. The thing that you want to do is you want to take a look back at 2019. What were your biggest accomplishments of 2019? Do you have any regrets? Do you did you reach your goals in 2019? These are just a few questions that I'd like for you to answer as we discuss what you can do for the rest of 2020. If you take a moment to look back at how 2019 went for you, it'll be a little bit easier for you to be thankful for the good moments, some of which we often overlook. This will allow you to understand what you should focus on for the rest of this year. Sometimes we look at our past as something hateful, something we would want to change, or something we would give anything to go back and relive. So the question is, would you change your past? And for those of you that are following along on Instagram right now, I am also live on Facebook as well. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I am going to be doing a Q&A session after this, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Hi, Shannon. How are you? My Nina for life. My Nina for life. That's Spira. Wait up. So if you the real question is, would you go back and change your past? If you think about changing your past, then honestly, you're not on the right track. Because here's the thing, we cannot go back in time. Every minute that passes takes us away from the fact that the past will never be recovered. Is it really necessary to get bent out of shape about something that we have no way of changing? Sometimes we experience low self-esteem, and we are so sad that we can't go back and change stuff. But the first step is to accept everything for what it is. There is no way that we can go back, so accept it for what it is, and have it make you better, because changing the past is impossible. Once you've accepted that, you'll find yourself on the right track to seeing that the past that you have left behind is a valuable experience. We must learn to see the good in everything that we've done. Even though the bad things have happened, the question is, what has it taught you? I appreciate the love about my smile. That makes me happy. I love when people say that. Whenever somebody compliments my smile, I can't help but laugh, because my mom, she's always like, if anybody compliments your smile, tell them that they need to be complimenting me, because I paid for that smile. Let me tell you, this was years of braces and retainers and night gear. It wasn't fun. So the question is, what has 2020, or what has the past taught you? In specific, what has 2019 taught you? Here's the thing. Everything leaves a mark on us. Absolutely everything. Every experience changes our lives, and we should embrace it as something that makes us advance, helps us grow, helps us improve as a person. Once you've accepted that you cannot keep thinking about the past that has already passed because you cannot change it, it's time for you to start thinking about the future. Your future is like a blank sheet of paper. You don't know what will happen, but what is certain is that what you do today will add a mark to that blank piece of paper. Just as your past marks your present, your future will be marked by the here and the now. So take the opportunity to learn from your past, be a better person now, and redirect your future. Do not allow yourself to continue carrying your frustrations and the things you should have left behind in the past. You don't deserve that. So consider this. Consider this question. Who will you be? What are you going to do? Deciding how you want to be in your future is in your hands, however you want it to be. One of my favorite quotes of all time, everybody that knows me, they know this. One of my favorite quotes of all time is from the hit musical Hamilton. I am the one thing in life I can control. My favorite line. It's one of my favorite lines in the world. It's my favorite line because it's so true. I am the one thing in life I can control. And I love that. Don't allow yourself to continue carrying on the frustrations and the things you should have left behind in the past. I think my Instagram Live went out for a second, so I'm going to get back on here for a second. How to make the most of 2020. All right, we're back. Do not allow yourself to continue carrying your frustrations and the things that you should have left behind in the past. You do not deserve that. Do you want to continue to carry heavy loads of your life every single day? The future is yours and no one else's. So start today. Start today by walking the path that will lead you to that future, so that future that you desire. It's very important for you to visualize that, despite the difficulties and the negative things that can happen in your life. 2020 is a prime example of this. There's a lot of negative things. There's a lot of negativity in your life. You gotta help visualize your future, because there's going to be difficulties. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. I just want 2021 to come in so we can, live life freely. That's not how it works. There's no time limit here. This isn't a basketball game with a 24-second clock. No. There's a good chance that a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with right now, we are going to deal with in 2021. The things that we're dealing with right now are forever changing the way that we go about life forever. It's not like 2021 is going to come around and we're going to be like, oh, remember 2020? Whew, that was a year. Thank God we're in 2021 now. No. You can make the mark on your future right now. Let's go back to my share screen here. So that's my tip number one. Number one, take a look back at 2019. Number two, create a goal for the second half of 2020. It's not too late to set goals for this year. I know we're halfway through this year, right? But it's not too late to set goals for this year. Think of something that is both powerful and measurable for you, and then put that plan into action. These second half of the year goals still have a strong chance and a strong opportunity to change your life for the better. Don't write off 2020. It's July. The minute that you decide that you're going to give up on your goals for 2020, then you're on the wrong path, my friends. You're on the wrong path. Number one, you need to make sure that you create goals that are worthwhile. You would think it would go without saying, But lots of people set meaningless goals, and then they wonder why they don't feel any sense of achievement. Remember that the purpose of goal setting is to move us forward and to spur positive change. If a goal doesn't have this motivating, transformative quality, then don't bother with it. You'll just be disappointed. Deciding to start a business, for example, is a worthy, life-changing goal. It can spur you on to investigate business ideas and put together a business plan, obtain debt and equity financing, and to hire employees and to market your products and your services. That's an example. Another example, going back to school for a degree or to learn a trade is a worthy goal. So make sure you choose goals that are worthwhile. Number two, choose goals that are achievable stretches. The fact that goals have to be achievable is just standard advice. I'm not breaking the internet here with this stuff. Choosing goals that are achievable is just standard advice. Pretty well everyone knows that there's no point in setting a goal that you will never be able to accomplish. And here's what sucks. If you do that, all you'll do is just end up being frustrated. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to abandon it. Less well known is the fact that goals need to stretch you in some fashion as well. Because if a goal isn't engaging, then you'll get bored and then you're going to abandon it. Raise your hand if you've done that. Like, I can see all of you right now. I can see you on Facebook, I can see you on Instagram, I can see all of you. Raise your hand if you ever created a goal and you're like, I'm gonna do this goal, and then you just didn't do it because you just abandoned it, right? You need to make goals that are achievable. Number three, make your goals specific. Goals are goals that are vague, or goals that are non-specific, they are a recipe for failure. To decide that you're going to lose 20 pounds or get out of debt, for instance, that's nice, of course, but it provides you with no guidance in doing that. You need to be specific. Think of how much easier it would be to accomplish goals if you knew exactly what you were going to do to lose that weight. So when you're setting your goal, when you're using a goal setting formula that gives you your goal and an in-action plan, you'll start to notice the difference. You'll start to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. If you're running a business and you wish to increase your sales by 20% this year, you will need to come up with a plan to do that. For those of you that don't know, I'm the director of marketing, director of social media marketing for a digital marketing firm right outside of Philly, right? And a lot of times when I get a new client, they come to me and they say, okay, Kai, I want to increase my sales goals by 25%. Cool. You know what I need to do now? I need to come up with a plan to do that. I need to be a part of that plan. It's not just me just saying, you know what, I'm gonna put together a plan, or I'm just gonna raise their thing. I'm gonna raise their sales. No, there's a plan that goes behind it. This is no different than your own personal goals, You acknowledge what you want to do, and then you do it by setting a plan to actually go through. You'll start accomplishing more than you ever thought. Can I get an amen, somebody? Oh, man. So you want to make sure that you set goals that are specific. Next thing, you want to make sure that you commit. Oh, I didn't want to share my screen. There we go. Next thing, you want to make sure that you commit to your goals. You need to dedicate yourself to accomplishing the goal that you have chosen. That's why writing your goals down is a common goal of a common goal setting tip. It's the first step to committing to achieving your goals. Develop an action plan that clearly outlines your goals and how you intend to achieve them. Motivate yourself with like this rags to riches story or a famous quote. Go on Instagram. They have popular quotes all the time. Motivate yourself. Also realize that accomplishing a goal is not an overnight process and that you are going to have to work regularly at transforming your goal into an accomplishment. And you have to set aside the time that you will need to work on that goal. Now, this is something that I'm trying to work on myself. My person, Katie, she is challenging me to do this right now. She's a very, very good fitness instructor. And she is my coach. And she is working with me to help take my physical life to the next level. And she is holding me accountable. And that's what I need. One of the things that she told me is that I need to set aside a time to make this happen. The goals that I have, it's not necessarily me making time. It's me finding the time. You can't make time. Time is time. 1 minute right now for me is 1 minute for you. I can't add a minute. I can't take away time. I can't add an extra hour into the day. Lord knows I wish I could, right? But alas, you have to find time to make it happen. Which leads me to my next point. Make your goals public. Make your goal public. Making your goal public is a technique that is really effective for a lot of people, including myself. Knowing that others are going to be monitoring your results ensures a commitment to the goal, and it is extremely motivating. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm posting videos, or I'm going to be posting videos to have you hold me accountable for my fitness goals. Now, here's the thing though, you don't have to go that far, right? You don't have to put it all out on your Facebook or your Instagram. You don't have to do that. Maybe it's having a goal buddy, right? Maybe it's, just having a single person that is genuinely interested in what you're trying to accomplish, and they can hold you accountable. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your lover. Whatever it may be, find somebody that will hold you accountable for this. And then last but not least, you need to evaluate your goals. Remember, goal setting is a process. And evaluation is an important part of that process. Don't just settle for a good or bad assessment. Think about what you did. Think about what you did and how you did it and what you got out of it. Whether you successfully accomplished your goal or not, there's always something to be learned. What works and what doesn't work for you. Whether achieving your goal lived up to your expectations, why you failed. Extracting these lessons will increase your accomplishments even more as you apply them to your future goal-setting experience. Now I'm ready to share my screen again. Get organized. Oh man, this is hard. This is really hard. Getting organized, getting your life organized is really important in regards to making the most out of 2020. There is no better feeling than the feeling of organization. Is there anything better than a clean home, a clean office, a clean room, files that are put away exactly the right way? Are those DVDs, are those VHS tapes, if you guys remember what those are, set up exactly how you want them, right? Is there a better feeling than knowing exactly where things are, where they need to be, that they're in? There's no better feeling than that. Clean your home. Organize your schedule. Work on your time management skills. All of these contribute to a life that is under control, which is quite freeing, especially in 2020. Now, here's the thing. I'll be the first to admit that I am a control freak trying to navigate the concept of letting things be. I know I talk a lot on my blogs and on my videos about the importance of acceptance and patience, but I gotta admit, I like when things go according to plan, because like who doesn't, right? I like when things go according to plan. When I don't feel some sort of control in my life, which is honestly 99% of the time, I start to feel overwhelmed and stressed out. Of course, I'll never feel in control of everything. Remember, I am the one thing in life I can control. But I found that it's possible to feel like I have things mostly together with the help of a few tools and routines. It takes effort to keep your life organized, but it's worth it because it reduces my tendency to overthink and to overanalyze things. Raise your hand if you're somebody that overthinks or overanalyzes things. I'm looking at you, Instagram. I'm looking at you, Facebook. Raise your hand if you are somebody that overthinks and overanalyzes things. If you're raising your hand right now, you are not alone at all. I'm always up here, but I'm working on it. We all overwork our brains, which is why it's just as important. The last thing that we need in our lives is disorganization and clutter, because that just messes with your head even more. You can control the cleanliness of your home. You can control a lot of the things that will help uncloud your brain. When my work and my home life feel organized, then my mind can feel a little bit more at peace. So here are some things that I do. Number one, I utilize my Google Calendar like it's, man, whew, my Google Calendar gets a lot of good work out of me. So if you have some sort of like scheduling device or anything like that, use it for sure. Use it. Number two, create a cleaning schedule. Know that okay, every Tuesday from 5 to 6, I'm going to clean my room. Every night at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do the dishes, or whatever it is. Come up with a cleaning schedule. Number three, organize your digital files in some fashion. I use both Dropbox and Google Drive. I just put all of my stuff in there. I put it all in there, and I organize it. I'm a little OCD. Those of you who have seen my computer or seen my emails and things like that, you know that I'm a little OCD, which is a little nuts, but that's okay. Number four, improve your meal planning. Now, this is something that I'm definitely working on. I am not an expert at this. I am not an expert at this, but I'm working on it. Improving your meal planning will help you declutter your mind. If you know, okay, I'm going to be eating this at this time, not only will that declutter your brain, but it could potentially help you eat healthier if you plan it out right. And number five, there's these things that I like to call brain dumps. They're called brain dumps, right? For every single person, a brain dump may be a little bit different, right? Maybe it's a journal that you write in at the end of the night or in the morning. Or maybe it's a notepad that whenever you have your thoughts, so whatever's in your brain, you want to put your thoughts in some sort of, you want to write them down. Maybe it's something that you carry with you, whatever it may be, right? For me, what I do at the end of every night, those of you that have followed me on Instagram and on Facebook, you guys know, every night before I go to bed, I write down 5 things that I'm thankful for that day. 5 things that I am incredibly thankful for that day. Big or small. Maybe it's I made a banging dinner tonight. Maybe I had a great phone call with my friend today. Maybe I wrote this really cool blog, or maybe I caught up with somebody, or maybe I made a really cool TikTok that went viral, right? Whatever it may be, I write it down at the end of my night. And that serves as a really important thing for me because there's two things that I can do with that. Number one, when I wake up the next morning, that's the first thing I look at. Before I pick up my phone, before I turn on the TV, before I listen to my podcasts, the first thing I do is I look at what I wrote down, the things that I wrote down that I was happy with yesterday. I look at it, and it serves as a reminder for me as to why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I am happy. And then at any point throughout the day, if I feel like I need that reminder, I open that book. I don't have to go searching for it. I don't have to go searching for why I'm thankful. It's all there. So that's what I call a brain dump. All right, it's a commercial break time. This is when I need to promote some stuff here. So this is me sharing my screen again. So on Instagram, once again, if you're watching on Instagram, I'm sorry if you can't see my screen. You could follow, if you want to follow my screen, you can go on to The Vibe with Kai on Facebook and follow me. And you'll be able to see my screen. So if you're enjoying what you're watching today so far, you be sure to follow me on my social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and on TikTok at Kairos Keenan. I love TikTok. I know there's a lot of talk right now about whether TikTok is going to get banned and all that. I'm not too worried about that. You could follow me on any of these platforms, and I will happily have a conversation with you and talk with you. I love talking with people. That's why I do this. This is why I'm on Facebook. This is why I'm on Instagram, because I like talking with people. I like hearing from people. You can also get your Vibe with Kai merchandise. I think I have a shirt right here, actually. I forgot that I had this in here. This is one of the things that I have. Oh, hold on. I'll show my Instagram folks first, and I'll show Facebook. So it's The Vibe with Kai. You can get your Vibe with Kai t-shirts. Show y'all as well. Vibe with Kai. And we just rolled out, you can see, if you're on Facebook, you can see my screen right now. We just rolled out a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of new designs. We have stuff for Black Lives Matter. That just went up this past week. We have a lot of quotes. The one on the screen right now is "I am enough." I am enough, which is one of my favorite things to remind people of. I am enough. You can also visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, live a good life full of good vibes. I'm always posting something. Yvette, I see that you said that you wore yours this week. So here's the thing: if you do get your gear and you do wear it throughout the day, send me pictures. I want to see pictures of. And Yvette, I know you sent me one not too long ago. So yeah, send me pictures, because I want to be able to post it on my Instagram and all of that. So yeah, send me your pictures if you ordered your Vibe with Kai gear and all of that. Also, if you're joining this halfway through, we don't worry if you missed anything before. So this entire webinar is going to be posted on my Facebook at The Vibe with Kai. It'll also be posted on IGTV and on YouTube at some point within 24 hours. So if you missed anything before this, say you came in late, that's okay. This whole thing will be posted on IGTV and YouTube and on Facebook. So you'll be able to go back and watch anything that you missed here. All right, so let's get back to this bad boy. So we're talking about ways that you can make the most out of 2020. So just a quick review of what we went over so far. Number one, we said that we want to make sure that we take a look back at 2019, right? So we know what our biggest accomplishments were. What were our regrets? What did we do to reach our goals? How can we improve for 2020? Because it's not too late to make the most out of 2020. Number two, we talked about creating a goal for the second half of 2020. It's not too late to set a goal for this year. Think of things that are both powerful and measurable for you, and then put together a plan and then put that plan in action. And then number three, get organized, because there is no better feeling than the feeling of organization. Clean your home, organize your schedule, work on your time management skills. All of these things contribute to a life that is under control, and that is one of the best feelings in the world. So let's go into this next aspect of things, getting your finances in order. This one's easier said than done. Is there anything worse than the fear of money issues? Scary, right? If this is something that's on your mind, don't worry, you are not alone. Because believe it or not, nearly 80% of people around the world worry daily about their personal finances. So for the second half of this year, I think that it's important for you to start putting a plan in place to save and to budget your money. Doing this will set you up for even more success in 2021. Raise your hand if finances is something that's often on your mind. If it is, if you're on Instagram, put up some hearts. If you put up some hearts on Instagram, let me know if this is something that daily finances is something that you think about every day. On Facebook, this is no different. On Facebook, if you're watching this right now, if daily finance is something that you think about all the time and sometimes you worry about, put up a heart. You're not alone, my friends. You are not alone at all. So how can you handle it? Should you pay off debt? Should you save for a rainy day? Should you knock out some of the student loan balance that you have? I went to a private school, so I'm going to be paying student loans for the rest of my life. Should you put extra money towards your credit card debt? Should you focus on your savings account? Should you be saving for retirement? It's different for each person. Every person, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to talk to you about how I prioritize my finances. I'm going to give you a whole little background into my finances, right? So I'm going to talk to you about how I prioritize this. Now, when I do this, know that it's not going to be the same for you. It may not be the same for you, but that's okay. Take what I'm about to say and kind of make it your own thing. But this is how I prioritize. Number one, I focus on the basics. These are your essentials. These are the expenses that are non-negotiable. Things like your rent, food, transportation, student loans, health insurance, credit card payments, cell phone, etc. All of these things need to be paid off before you can even think about working on some of your other goals. Number two, I always want to make sure that I do what I can to save at minimum $1,000. At minimum. Ideally, your emergency fund will house a few months worth of expenses, right? But if you're just getting started off, or if you're recovering from a setback, a financial setback that you didn't see coming, focus on saving at least $1,000. It's substantive, but it puts you ahead of more than, this is crazy. If you save at least $1,000, that puts you ahead of more than half of the adults in the United States. Let that sink in. I'm going to say that again. If you work to save at least $1,000 minimum, that puts you ahead of over half of the adults in the United States. Now, here's the thing. The exact number here is flexible. It doesn't need to just be $1,000. If you feel more comfortable with $1,500 or $2,000 or $4,000, then focus on that. Once again, this is for you. You focus on what you feel comfortable with. Again, these are your priorities. But $1,000 is a good start when you're juggling multiple money goals and you have limited funds. Once again, don't forget, if you have limited funds, surprise, you are one of the 99% of people. You hear people talk about the 1% all the time. Guess what? Everybody in this chat right now is part of the 99%. I doubt any billionaires are watching this right now. If you are, help. Other things that you should focus on. Investing for retirement. Once you have the essentials covered and you've socked away a sum of money that you're comfortable with, Then your next priority should be your retirement. After that, tackle your high interest debt. Once you saved a little bit and you have a little bit of money going towards maybe your 401k, then you can start to accelerate your debt payments. Next, add to your emergency fund. Once you've paid down your debt, either completely or by using a sustainable repayment plan, divert some of those payments or any of those extra funds you have to an emergency fund, your just in case fund. And then last but not least, invest more. Once you've paid off your debt and build up an emergency fund, it's time for you to invest more if you can. Investing is not, it's something that not a lot of people think about. And there are people out there much more educated than I that can help you and your personal finances and can help you invest in the things that will take your life to the next level. So get your finances in order for sure. And then last year, for making the most out of 2020, learn from your mistakes. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are a human being, which means that mistakes are inevitable. But that's okay. Some of these mistakes might be small and some of them might be life-changing. Either way, you will learn from them and you will continue to grow. Have you ever found yourself saying, I'll never do that again, only to find yourself doing the exact same thing a short time later? If so, you are not alone. It's likely all of us have repeated some of our mistakes at one time or the other. But here's the thing, making the same mistakes over and over and over again can be costly in more ways than one. Perhaps your team at work has lost faith in you because your behavior doesn't match your words. Or maybe your errors have cost you or someone else a whole lot of money. Just ask my mom. The good news is that you can take the steps to learn from your mistakes. Then, instead of repeating them again, you'll gain valuable wisdom that will, excuse me, that'll help you in the future. Acknowledge your errors. Before you can learn from your mistakes, you have to accept full responsibility for your role in the outcome. Ask yourself tough questions. While you don't want to dwell on your mistakes, reflecting on them is productive. Ask yourself a few tough questions. What went wrong? What can I do better next time? What did I learn from this? Write down your responses and you'll see the situation a little bit more clearly. Make a plan. Beating yourself up for your mistakes won't help you. It's important to spend the bulk of your time thinking about how you can do better for the future. Sometimes mistakes aren't just one big blunder. Instead, they are a series of little choices that lead to failure. So pay attention to your errors, no matter how big or how small they may seem, and recognize that each mistake can be an opportunity to build mental muscle and become better. Learn from your mistakes. So those are the 5 tips that I have to make the most out of 2020. Now, I do have a bonus tip here that I'm going to go over in a second, but a couple of quick things. Number one, after I go over this bonus tip, I am going to be doing a Q&A session both on Instagram and on Facebook. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them down right now, and then once we get to the Q&A, write them in the chat, and then I will answer those questions for you. Okay? So let's quickly review the things that we went over here. So how to make the most out of 2020. So let's go back. We're gonna go back in time here. Rewind, rewind. It's a little Hamilton reference for you. Making the most of 2020. Number one, take a look back at 2019. Number two, create a goal for the second half of 2020. Number three, get organized, and then buy my shirt. Number four, get your finances in order. And number five, learn from your mistakes. And now it's time for a bonus tip. Be positive. Be positive. Look, 2020 has kicked all of our butts. Let's be real. This year has kicked all of our butts. But one of the most important ways to make the most out of 2020 is simply putting on your positive pants. It's quite cliche, but I mean it when I say that you should approach every situation with a glass half full type of mindset. It's hard sometimes, especially with everything we're facing in the world today. But it's important for both your mental health and your physical health to put on those positive pants and to be positive. You can define positive thinking as positive imagery, positive self-talk, or just general optimism. But all of those things are still general and they're very ambiguous type of concepts. If you want to be effective in thinking and being more positive, you'll need more concrete examples to help you through this process. Here are a few of my favorites. Yo, bye-bye t-shirt. I see you, Kim. Number one, start the day off with positive affirmation. How you start your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day. Have you ever woken up late and then panicked and then felt like nothing good was going to happen for the rest of the day? This is likely because you started out the day with a negative emotion and a pessimistic view that carried into every other event that you experienced that day. Instead of letting this dominate you, start your day with positive affirmations. Number two, focus on the good things, even if they're small. Almost invariably, you're going to encounter obstacles throughout your day. And there's no such thing as a perfect day. When you encounter such a challenge, focus on the benefits, no matter how slight or unimportant they may seem. Find the humor in bad situations. Allow yourself to experience humor in even the darkest and the most trying of situations. Remind yourself that this situation will probably make for a good story later, and try to crack a joke about it. Turn your failures into lessons. You aren't perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to experience failure in multiple contexts, at multiple jobs, with multiple people. Instead of focusing on how you failed, think about what you're going to do the next time and turn your failure into a lesson. Transform negative self-talk into positive self-talk. Negative self-talk can creep up easily and is often hard to notice. You might think I'm bad at this or I shouldn't have tried that, but these thoughts turn into internalized feelings and might cement your conceptions about yourself. When you catch yourself doing this, stop and replace those negative messages with positive ones. Focus on the present. I'm talking about the present. I'm not talking about today. I'm not talking about this hour. I'm talking about this exact moment. Maybe you might be getting chewed out by your boss. But what in this exact moment is happening that's so bad? Forget the comment he made, your boss. Forget the comment that he made 5 minutes ago. Forget that thing that your friend said 10 minutes ago or yesterday. Focus on this one individual moment. In most situations, you'll find it's not as bad as you imagined it, because we often we find our negativity in exaggerated imaginations, and we look at these potential future events and we just look at ourselves in the most negative way. Do yourself a favor and stay present in the moment. And lastly, find positive friends. Surround yourself with positive people, mentors, coworkers. When you surround yourself with positive people, you'll hear positive outlooks. You'll hear positive stories. You'll get positive affirmations. Their positive words will sink in and affect your own line of thinking, which then affects your words and similarly contributes to the group. Finding positive people to fill up your life can be difficult, but you need to eliminate the negativity in your life before it consumes you. Do what you can to improve the positivity in others and let the positivity affect you in the same exact way. In conclusion, everyone in life has setbacks, both big and small. The bigger ones may feel more noticeable, but even the smaller ones can take a toll on the way that we think and the way that we feel. These challenges can leave people scrambling to keep up and might lead to people reconsidering their goals and paths. So here's a few final pieces of advice for you. Don't be afraid to fail. Be 1% better every day. Begin to take risks. Understand resistance. Exercise regularly. I'm going to exercise right after this. Build a network of support. Keep your goals in mind. Set clear benchmarks. And then the most important one is remember the why. Getting a break doing anything in 2020 can be tough, let alone life. I was once told by an old friend, it's not the most talented people that make it, it's the ones with the most endurance. And that is true. For me, I have to remember the why. Why am I doing this? What was the original reason that I stood out on this path of making 2020 better? Reflecting on that reminds me that this journey is worth my time. My friends, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on Instagram, understand this. 2020 doesn't have to be the worst year ever. As the lyric in Hamilton says, you know it, I've sung it like 3 times already. I am the one thing in life I can control. So control your thinking and make the most out of this year. And let's finish 2020 strong. Whew. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. We're going to begin our Q&A session. We have about 5 minutes and then we have to bounce. But if you have any questions, write them down. You can write them down both on Instagram and on Facebook, and I'll take a second to answer them. And any questions, comments, concerns, whatever you may have. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please be sure to follow me on social media, where I am always posting things to help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. You can also get your Vibe with Kai merchandise. We just rolled out a ton of new designs, so get yours before it sells out, just like our hats did. Our hats have run out. I have no idea when the hats are going to come back because of COVID-19, but that's okay. Get yours before it sells out. You'll also, on the screen, you'll see my email address. It's kairos@thevibewithkai.com. Feel free to email me anytime. I like having conversations with people. You can also hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @thevibewithkai. Shoot me a DM. I'm giving you permission to slide into my DMs, my friends. Hit me up on Snapchat and on TikTok @Kairos_Keenan. I love hearing from you. I love giving you guys whatever you need. So yeah, so I'm gonna stick around for 3 minutes here because it's 12:57, so we go until 1 o'clock, and I will stick around and answer any questions. Hi Ash Vendy, how are you? Thank you for saying hi. I hope that you're having a good day today. Cheers. Gypsy under supervised, nice to see you. Thank you for participating today. Pretty 57926. Hi Becky. I hope that you had a good day today. Miss Purdy Art, hi. It's nice to see you. Deb, it's nice to see you as well. Oh my gosh. Everybody's here today. Rebecca, it's nice to see you. Allie Blue Eyes, it's so nice to see you. Dizzy Miss Lizzie. Oh, it's okay. Take a picture of your sweatshirt and send it to me, please. Hi, Kim. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You are an amazing person. Tammy, hi. Oh, there's so many cool people here. Nichols 222. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking through Instagram. I'll look at Facebook in a second. Shane, it's nice to see you as well. Thank you for joining me, man. I hope that you enjoyed it today. Yvette, hi. Nice to see you. Yvette is my day one, my gatekeeper. So thank you for joining me. Shay, I see you, my love. Thank you for joining me. Rebecca Manassa, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this. Let's see. Sexy Twin Mommy. That is a name. That is a name of somebody on Instagram. Thank you for so much for today. I'm glad you're having a great day today, Ash. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's look at Facebook here. Hi, Sigrid. Hi, you found me on TikTok. You are the best thing that happened for me in 2020. Oh my God, that is so sweet. That is incredibly sweet. I hope that you continue to be blessed with just good vibes, positive energy. I hope that you find the happiness that you're looking for. Honestly, I mean that. Kim Spencer, I love you. You're probably one of the most beautiful women on this planet, and I love you so much. Hi, Cassie. It's nice to see you. Yvette, I see you over here on Facebook. Thank you for for watching on both. Cassie, thank you so much. Diana, it's nice to see you as well. Oh man, so many cool people. Shane, Steven, Jamie, Tammy, Kathy. Oh man, Khalil. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, Chrissy. It's Chrissy, bitch. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so it is 12:59. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you enjoyed what you're watching today, please be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. Follow me on Snapchat and TikTok at Kairos Keenan. Visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where you can get your merchandise. You can get your T-shirts and all your stuff. Get your It's a Vibe shirt on sale now. It smells like a banana. I don't know why. Oh, I know why, because there's a banana right there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a good rest of the day. For those of you that watch on both Instagram and on Facebook, have a wonderful day, a good life full of good vibes. My friends, I love you so much. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.